welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do something a bit different in this week's video because whenever I meet people, like, I occasionally will go into like stories of like things that have happened to me in my life, and sometimes people are like, oh my god, like this is really funny, like why don't you tell people these things? But I guess for me, like, they're the kind of things that feel like they could only happen to me. And I kind of wanted to share this story partly as a bit of a lesson to you guys, just to stay safe on social media. So what I wanted to do this week is I wanted to do a story time talking about the time when I was a catfish. So if you want to hear how I was a catfish, how I found out and what on earth was going on, then keep watching. So, if you like follow me, I'm kind of inadvertently going to use this as a little bit of a plug for my social media. So, if you follow me on my Instagram, it's at Chronicles of Hannah. It's always linked down below. But in terms of like my family life and my friends, like I tend to keep things separate. So I have my like private Facebook account, which is pretty much on lockdown. I don't have like loads of friends. I have about 600, and that includes people that I went to school with, people that I went to uni with, my family, people I work with, just like a real mix of like people, like people from Take Me Out, like loads of different things. So that also is pretty much down on lockdown. Like I kind of when I was like looking at Facebook security settings, I changed mine so that you can't necessarily see where I'm from unless you add me as a friend. You can't see how many friends I've got, so you can't go through my friends list. My photos, like it is pretty much on lockdown, so unless you're friends with me, you can't find out a lot, which was a blessing on this occasion. So this was, I think it was the summer of 2017, so it was way before Take Me Out was on. And I don't really use Facebook. Like I tend to use mainly like Instagram and whatever for my social media. So what basically happened is that, you know, you kind of have your private Facebook account just for your friends and family. And one day I was on Facebook and I got a message through, and it was someone from like Weston-super-Mare, which is in Bristol, but like not really where I'm from. And it was a girl, and she messaged me, and she was like, just so you know, I've been getting messages from someone who I thought was you. She didn't tell me what the messages said, so I'm kind of glad that she didn't say. But she basically said, someone's been messaging me, I think it's you. Can you check and let me know if it's you? And I was like, I don't know this person. What does she mean? So I replied back and I was like, no, like as far as I know, really sorry, but I don't think I've been messaging you. Like I don't really understand it. I didn't want to really know, to be honest with you, what me as a catfish had been sending to people, because that kind of thing makes me feel a bit bad if it's like men getting conned. And then she messaged me back. She was like, yeah, someone's been basically using your profile as a catfish. So I was like, oh my god, like where did they get this information from? So she sent me the link to the Facebook page, and basically what the person had done, and the worrying thing was that it was being followed by like quite a lot of people, like from abroad, like in the hundreds. So I felt really bad, because I'm like, well, if someone thinks that I've been messaging them, and I like, oh, God forbid, like I didn't want to know, to be honest with you, because I was just, you know, I don't really want to know like if my profile's been used to like catfish people and scam it. But I had basically been a catfish for quite a while without me even realising. So I went on this profile, and the blessing in all of this was that because my Facebook was on lockdown, my Instagram as well. So I do, like, from Take Me Out, obviously people know my surname now, but I deliberately do it so you don't know like precisely where I live, what my date of birth is. Like I'm quite like secure in that. So what they'd basically done is they'd set up a Facebook profile. They didn't know where I lived, they didn't know my date of birth, they didn't know my surname, because my Facebook was that private at that point that they couldn't, luckily, like they didn't, if they genuinely had gone to that extent, then people would be like 100% think it was me. What they'd done is they'd basically cloned my Instagram, and you know on Instagram obviously my name is Chronicles of Hannah. they had copied that. So rather than call me my real surname, which is like Hannah Saunders or Hannah Saunders, they called me Hannah Chronics. And I'm like, I'm not being funny, but who do you know that's got a surname called Chronics? It sounds like chronic diarrhea or something like that. So they'd done that. They then basically come up with where they thought I was from. So they said I was from Stroud, which isn't true. Close, I'll give them that. It said I went to a college in Yeovil, which is Somerset. So my family are from Somerset, but no. They said I was born in 1990, which makes me a bit older than I am, so that was wrong. And what they'd basically done is they'd taken my Instagram videos of like me working out, and they'd posted these videos. And I don't know how they did this. They must have downloaded the videos from my Instagram profile and basically put it in, taken out any watermarks or any music or anything that would show that it was me, and they even went to the extent of writing as if they're me. And it wasn't like, and to be honest, it was obvious that it wasn't me, because it was like, hey baby, like here I am squatting, if you want to join me, drop me a message and stuff like this. And they still use like emojis, so although it could genuinely be that some people thought it was me, which I felt really bad about, they used my Instagram pictures, and yeah, it had loads of likes on it. It had like hundreds of followers, and I felt awful. So as soon as, I was lucky really that girl told me, because like it obviously wasn't me, and I felt a bit bad that I was a catfish without even realising. So luckily, as soon as the girl told me, I reported it. I put it on my Facebook. I was like, just in case, if you get any random messages from someone, it's not me, it's a catfish. And yeah, like, so basically that is the story of what happened. I reported it. Within about an hour or so, it was completely gone. I was quite relieved, because I've heard in like circumstances like this, sometimes you have to prove it's not you. So I think I basically just sent them a message, and I sent them my real profile and said, this isn't me. It said I was a beautician, which, you know, I'm quite flattered that people think I am, but I'm not. And yeah, it was just completely wrong. But obviously people had then been like responding to these videos and these clips. So I hate to think like what actually was, like what was going on using my profile. But yeah, I was basically a catfish without even knowing. So that is a lesson to you all. Make sure that your Facebook is on lockdown. If you've got your date of birth, what you do for a living, where you work, keep it as private as possible. Hide any people that you might be friends with, like for members of the public. And just be mindful, like when you're on Instagram, like I don't put my date of birth, like, and luckily for me, they didn't go to the extent of doing that. Obviously, like since Take Me Out, I've had fake profiles, but now, like, I know what to do. I think it just reminds you to stay safe and make sure that you keep an eye out for anyone pretending to be you. So yeah, that was the story of how I was a catfish. If it's happened to you and you've been catfished, please let me know. Obviously, please let me know if you have been catfished by someone pretending to be me, because I would be genuinely worried. I don't want anyone to get contact there. But yeah, let me know if you've been catfished. I'm pretty good at telling a catfish, because it's normally someone like famous, so God knows where they found me and thought it was a good idea to catfish me. But if it's happened to you, let me know in the comments below. If you want me to do any other kind of story times, give me a topic and I'll happily do it. If you enjoyed this kind of video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.